Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the newest bear pattern in my shop. I already have a number of bear patterns, but I love bears, and I really wanted to do this little startled bear with a fly landing on her nose. So we have another bear pattern at Shiny Happy World. Here's how to make it. All right, this is the video showing how to assemble this cute bear with a fly on his nose if you are using a light box. So first of all, let me show you my light box setup. I've got the light box, let me move this out of the way, light box turned as bright as it'll go. I have a clear glass tempered cutting board on it. You do not need this, it's totally optional, but what it does is it allows me to fuse with my iron right on the light box, which I wouldn't normally be able to do since the light box is plastic. I've got my placement guide, and then I've got a clear silicone sheet. I have all of my pieces cut out, prepared, ready to go. And what that means is that I have got the pieces all printed. You can also trace them onto the paper side of paper-backed fusible adhesive. I use Heat and Bond Light for all of my quilts. I roughly cut out the pieces and then fuse them to the wrong side of the fabric. Then, after it's fused, I do a nice clean cut. That's what you do on the solid line around each piece. All the dotted lines are inside each piece you can ignore. Those are placement guides showing you where other pieces sit, and you don't need that because you're using the light box. What you do need are these solid lines. They are stitching guides. So if you decide to do eyelashes, and I'm going to give this one eyelashes. Yeah, I'll give this one eyelashes. Just trace over those lines, and I just use a fine tip Sharpie. It's permanent, that's okay. I'm going to stitch over those lines with black thread, so you're never going to see them again. So the eyelashes are optional, but there's one more line that you need to do, and that is the line for his mouth. And that's just a line connecting his nose to his mouth. And that's another one that I'll stitch over. All right, now I've got all the pieces prepared and we're ready to go. So we're going to start with piece number 1, which is one of his ears. And that goes like that. And then number 2 is his other ear. So the pieces, the numbers tell you what piece is what, but they also tell you in what order to lay everything down, so you don't have to do any lifting or tucking or shifting anything. All right, 3 is his shoulders. And that sits down there. So easy working with a light box. All right, 4 is his head. Okay, 5 is the muzzle. And one thing you can do, you know what, I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna move this. We're gonna do things a little bit out of order. This is optional, but if you are having trouble seeing through the layers, this is something you can do. So we're gonna just take this and we're gonna put the fly, and you know, we could do I'm gonna show you some crazy layering here that we can do. So let's just do the fly first. We're gonna take wing number 8 and number 9. So these are the fly's wings. This is one of the things that a light box also makes really easy if you want to do it just kind of bit by bit. And then 10 is the fly. So I'm working on a collection of flies all on gray backgrounds. And this one I'm making to go in there in the fly, all kinds of bugs on gray backgrounds. And I'm gonna move these pieces out of the way, and we're just gonna tack that fly together. Just for a second. Now we can peel the fly up. And now, if we wanted to, we can do the nose and put the fly on the nose, because it can be hard to see through the black. So this is actually great because we have those upper edges for the fly. And now we're going to just tack that guy to the nose. And now we can do the whole muzzle. We can put the nose that we've already got all those pieces there, and his tiny little mouth goes down there, and we can fuse the whole muzzle together. And then peel that up. I should technically let this cool better, because if you peel it up warm, it can stretch a little bit. So now we're going back to putting that guy in place, and the head, back where that goes. And now, instead of putting the muzzle and then all the individual pieces, we can just put the whole muzzle on there all at once. And then we still have the eyes. So we have 11 and 12. That is the whites of the eyes. And if you do have trouble seeing through the layers, the fusible makes it kind of cup up a little bit. Just tap to get the layers touching. Once there's physical contact between the layers, the lines show through much better. So there we got 11 and 12, and now we have the pupils on the eyes, which are 13 and 14. And if you were having trouble seeing through there to see where the pupils go, you could also fuse the eye, each eye separately if you wanted to. That may be getting a little carried away, but it helps. Anytime you're having trouble seeing through multiple layers, you can always deconstruct this and do just a couple layers at a time. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do a full count, which means I'm going to need to, it's going to take a lot longer and it's boring, so I'll fast forward through this. Okay, I misspoke. That wasn't the full count. This was another tack. Okay, now we're going to put the block. And now is when we're going to do the boring full count. So let me get this guy on here. And you want to line up that straight edge with the raw edge at the bottom of your block. I want it to look like I snapped a photo of this bear and just zoomed in on that goofy face. And to do that, he has a body, it's just cropped out of the photo. And to get that illusion, we line that up so that when I sew my blocks together, that raw edge is hidden in the seam allowance, and it gives the illusion of a cropped photo. So now I'm going to do the proper fuse, which I will fast forward through. All right, that is ready to go. So I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and I'm going to do all of the outline stitching. Then I'll bring it back here and I'll show you this finished block and 2 other color versions that I made. All right, here is one finished bear. This is one that I did add the eyelashes to. Remember, the eyelashes are always optional. I did another version without the eyelashes. So she's in bright, totally not realistic colors. This version is kind of classic black bear colors. And then I did one more version. So I'm working on a quilt that collects all of my bug patterns together, and they're all going to be in bright jewel tone gemstone colors on gray backgrounds. And I really wanted to make those bugs pop in their bright gem colors. So I tried that here with the bear being black and white also, and then just the bright red fly. Not sure if I'm going to end up using it in that quilt or not, but I think it's a lot of fun to play with this way, and I may do some more quilts that have a black and white background and then something added to them in that bright gemstone color. But for now, here is the newest bear pattern at Shiny Happy World. You can get it in the shop. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.